Diana Carter Marone, The Truth That Ended SHEILA. The revelation didn't just expose secret, it rewrote history. Because Dylan was never just Dylan. She was Diana Carter, a name buried beneath decades of lies, bloodlines, and deliberate silence. And the moment she chose to speak it aloud, the world stopped breathing. The setting was pure, bold, and the beautiful grandeur. The living room of the Forrester estate, sunlight spilling through towering windows. Ridge, Brooke, Steffi, Finn, Eric, Bill, all gathered under the assumption that this would be another moment where SHEILA Carter stood smug, untouchable, undefeated. SHEILA believed every skeleton in her closet had already crawled out and been dealt with. She was wrong. Diana stood at the center of the room, calm in a way that sent an immediate chill through everyone present. This wasn't bravery born in the moment. This was resolve forged over a lifetime. When she spoke, her voice didn't shake. "My name isn't Dylan," she said quietly. That alone wiped the smirk from SHEILA's face. "My real name is Diana Carter." The silence that followed was suffocating. SHEILA's color drained instantly. Because that name wasn't just familiar, it was dangerous. It was buried. It was supposed to be dead. Diana didn't ramble, she didn't accuse, she dismantled. Years before Dylan ever appeared in Los Angeles, Diana had been born in secret, hidden because her existence threatened to expose one of the most explosive unions in the show's history. Her mother was SHEILA Carter. Her father was Massimo Marone. Their connection had been brief, intense, and disastrous. When SHEILA realized she was pregnant, she knew the truth could never surface. Massimo's empire, his legacy, his children, none of it could survive the scandal of SHEILA Carter being permanently tied to the Marone bloodline. So SHEILA did what SHEILA always did. She erased the problem. Diana was born under another name, passed through institutions, raised without history, her identity fragmented, her origins reduced to whispers and half-truths. But blood remembers. Diana revealed the proof with surgical precision, sealed DNA results verified by 3 independent labs, matches not only to SHEILA Carter, but unmistakably to Massimo Marone. The room erupted. Brooke gasped. Ridge swore under his breath. Eric slowly lowered himself into a chair, history crushing down on him. Bill's eyes sharpened, already calculating power, inheritance, fallout. SHEILA couldn't move. Diana went further. Hospital records from a private European clinic, shell companies tracing payments directly back to Massimo, his signature, his silence. Grainy photographs of SHEILA and Massimo together, undeniable. And then came the moment that destroyed her. Diana looked at SHEILA, not with hatred, not with rage, but with devastating calm. "You didn't just abandon me," she said quietly. "You erased me. You decided your freedom mattered more than my life." For the first time in her life, SHEILA felt something she couldn't outrun. Fear. Not of prison, not of exposure, but of being seen. Diana revealed letters Massimo had written but never sent, acknowledging her existence, expressing guilt, fear, and cowardice. He hadn't loved her enough to claim her publicly, but he had loved her enough to make sure she survived SHEILA. "I'm not here for money," Diana said firmly. "I'm here because the truth doesn't belong to you anymore." The Marone legacy, once settled, now had an air born of survival, not privilege. SHEILA collapsed into a chair. This wasn't a courtroom she could manipulate. This wasn't a prison she could escape. This was exposure. The one thing she'd never survived before. Steffi watched with conflicted resolve. Finn struggled, his loyalty shattering under undeniable truth. Ridge and Brooke exchanged a look that said everything. History was repeating itself. But Diana stood steady. She wasn't triumphant, she wasn't broken, she was whole. She reclaimed her name, her lineage, her right to exist. When SHEILA finally whispered, "Diana," like a ghost from the past, Diana turned away, not out of cruelty, but closure. The lies were dead, and for the first time in Bold and the Beautiful history, SHEILA Carter had nothing left to say. Aftermath. The fallout didn't come in explosions. It came in silence. Doors closed. Calls went unanswered. Invitations vanished. For the first time, SHEILA wasn't being hunted. She was being ignored. And that punishment cut deeper than any cell. Diana stepped into visibility without flinching. She refused to become a scandal or a weapon. She claimed her identity publicly, legally becoming Diana Carter Marone, not for power, but ownership. "I don't want leverage," she said simply. "I want understanding." She funded reform, supported transparency, built purpose without spectacle. SHEILA watched it all from the shadows, realizing too late that Diana had succeeded where she never could. Not through manipulation, but through truth. Their final meeting was quiet. "This is goodbye," Diana said. "I'm still your mother," SHEILA whispered. "You gave me life, but you don't get to define it." And she walked away. SHEILA Carter, survivor of everything, finally understood defeat. Not destruction, but being left behind, speechless, while the truth moved forward without her.